will have the continuing zeal to do it, because helping the poor, working for the poor and with the poor, some of you, at least some of those in my theology class I know have said they have been involved in this type of work. You know it's not easy. You know it's difficult, very challenging. Many of these things do not come very naturally to many of us. And so it is important that this work for the poor must be grounded in something much bigger than us. It's grounded on the love for the Lord, because then we do not focus on personalities. We don't focus on things that sometimes happen amongst the best of us. We focus on the Lord and the giver of the service, and that gives us the strength and the zeal to continue on with this, tackling this monster called poverty in our country. So what more is my story? How did an Atenean lawyer, you might ask, I've asked this of myself too, how did an Atenean lawyer end up with the vocation of focusing his life in a family-oriented movement that seeks to help others overcome their poverty in all its aspects and manifestations? After all, as lawyers, particularly as Atenean lawyers, we have so many options. And I've run through the options, as said, also referred to. So why is it that I am here involved in a movement called Caucus for Christ, and which is definitely active in the work with the poor? Or better still, perhaps as I was reflecting on this, how did I end up being a lawyer myself? I'm sure all of you law students have your own stories to tell, how you ended up being a law student. Maybe one of your parents is a lawyer and pressured you to take up law, or some other reason. Now, let me tell you my story. And here is where I see the connection of what I'm doing in CFC with my being a lawyer and helping out in my own little way in this process that we call nation building. Okay, we know this, but we need to be continuously reminded that what we are involved in, where you are now, and what you will be, have all its beginnings and stirrings, if you will, in the home, in your own respective home, in your own home environment. So, the nation builder that we want to have is nurtured in the home, around the family. The honest government official that we all seek, especially when we go through this political exercise in May, the honest government official begins to be formed in the home, as is the dishonest ones too. Okay. The lawyer and the judge that we look for, that will dispense fairness and justice, are formed in the home. You have been formed in your own homes, amongst your families and relatives. So the importance of beginning human development in the home is key, even to all of us, lawyers and law students, in the same way that sometimes we might not see that connection. I now see that connection in our work in CFC, because whoever it is that we want, whoever is the leader that we want, whatever is the business leader that we want, everyone begins at home, and the importance of having a strong home and a renewed family life. And when we say that we are formed in our homes, I quickly add that we have been formed, I hope you agree with me, by not so much by words, not so much by what our parents tell us, that it is part of it too, but more from the examples that we see, more from the actions that we actually experience from our own home environment. In my case, in my story, I am blessed with parents who witnessed to their children what they wanted them to be by their own example. This puts a pressure on me right now because my daughter is also here now listening to me. My mother is a retired teacher. Simple teacher, but who imparted to us the value of excellence. No, excellence was our theme in this Ateneo Sesquicentennial. Was it the first year in Villanueva, the first year of the 3-year celebration? And excellence is to be the best that we can be, wherever we are, whatever profession, whether it's the legal profession or some other profession, be the best that we can be. That's what my mom passed on to me. My father, who passed away in 1973, just 1 year after I graduated from college, was a lawyer, but did not pressure me to be a lawyer. Not even a hint. I don't recall of him ever even hinting that I should take up law. He was at one time a justice of the peace, something that you don't know anymore because that was what the MTC judges were called then. So it's now called Municipal Trial Court judges. So it was justice of the peace at the time. He was also a clerk of court of the Court of Agrarian Reform. So he was a simple lawyer and, well, did not really ask me to follow after him. My parents did not require us to take whatever course they wanted, but they were there always to guide and to pray for us, their children. Actually, this is something that I did not realize and recognize immediately. But somebody told me there was a guest, we had a guest at home, and he is an early riser. He wakes up at 4 o'clock, and he said to me one time after waking up at 4 o'clock, he said, "Joe, when I woke up at 4 o'clock, I saw your mom already praying together with the house helps." And I did not know that because I am not an early riser. I don't know if you are. But our parents' prayers are very important for us. And I thank them for that. I have many childhood memories as part of this storytelling. Let me just check my watch now. But a few stand out that left an indelible mark in my life. I'm sure you too have that. You remember a few outstanding memories of childhood that are with you, still with you up to now, don't you? Okay. I'll cite two things that I believe unconsciously led me to where I am today. First, by my father's example, I saw lawyering as truly helping out others, especially the poor. I never saw in my father's lawyering for money, or, lawyering as a profession that will make us rich. I did not see that at all. In fact, on the contrary, I saw a very humble lawyer practicing when he was practicing. Other mga Bisaya dito? May mga Bisaya ba? Any Visayans? Wala? No, hindi pala ako pwedeng magkamali. Anyway, okay, I'll translate it. At some point, my father was known as, in Tagalog na, Attorney Gulay.